Hello, 6th graders. Welcome to Big Ideas Math, Contract Math, Section 7.4, 2014 edition, Quadrilaterals Activity. Pause while you write Section 7.4, 2014 edition activity in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's activity objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is understand properties of quadrilaterals. Copy the following key term, definition, and example exactly as it appears into your notebook. Kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides and opposite sides that are not congruent. Today we'll be working on page 157 in your Record and Practice Journal. At the top of the page, there's a reminder about what quadrilaterals are. Quad means four, and lateral means side. So quadrilateral means a polygon with four sides. Off to the side, there's a box with quadrilaterals in it to remind you of some of the basic quadrilaterals that we see. We're going to be working on Activity 1, using descriptions to form quadrilaterals. This is where you'll need your geoboard and your rubber band. Use a geoboard to form a quadrilateral that fits the given description. So when we do this, I'm going to be jumping onto the next slide that shows you how to do this. So keep your Record and Practice Journal handy so that you can see the descriptions, but I'm going to move on to other slides that don't have the descriptions on them. So letter A says to form a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. So we're going to go on to the next slide and you're going to see how that's formed. So here's my geoboard and the rubber band, and you can see that I start at the bottom and I stretch it up and then across. So this has one pair of parallel sides. So the top side and the bottom side are parallel to each other, but the left and right sides are not. So make your geoboard look like mine. I've got 5 across on the bottom and 3 across on the top, and mine is 4 high. For letter B, we are asked to form a quadrilateral with 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. In letter C, Our directions are to form a quadrilateral with 4 right angles that is not a square. So watch while I do this and be sure you're recording everything on your GeoBoard paper. So I stretch out my rubber band across the bottom, and this time instead of going all the way up, I only go up 3. For letter D, we are going to form a quadrilateral with 4 congruent sides that is not a square. So it sounds similar to what we did last time, but let's go ahead and do it and you'll see how it's different. So this time I start towards the top, and I'm going to stretch the rubber band so that I go 1 square diagonally, and then down again diagonally, and across diagonally, and up. So the sides are congruent, and it is not a square. On letter E, we're forming a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of congruent adjacent sides and whose opposite sides are not congruent. This one's a little bit tricky, so hang in there. So we start with our rubber band in the top left corner and stretch it down so that we have a diagonal going downward and another diagonal, and then we've got a small point on the front. Our last one, letter F, we are forming a quadrilateral with congruent and parallel opposite sides that is not a rectangle. So let's pay attention here. I'm going to stretch the rubber band 4 across and go 1 up and 1 diagonally across, and then take that right-hand side and stretch it 1 more over to the right. So the top and the bottom are both 4 across, but they're diagonal from each other. Your assignment for this lesson is to use your GeoBoard to make a quadrilateral of your choice that was not included in the activity. Draw it on your GeoBoard paper and describe it using correct mathematical terms. Show your work and be prepared to share during our next class. Remember, to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson, you need to complete your exit slip, come to our next class prepared with the journal pages or other work from the flipped lesson completed, be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed, and be prepared with any questions you have for your teacher, and of course, have a good attitude.